always loved intersections of art, blockchain, and business. And so I had kind of been waiting for this moment of that culmination of all three to come about. I'm currently working on Tree Trunk, which is an NFT marketplace that does royalties on chain for the first time and empowers artists to create a stable stream of income from each of their NFTs, as well as create prints and have their investors and collectors create prints and earn royalties on those, all while hodling and creating a community. So I am very excited to be here today and have the pleasure to announce that for the first panel we'll be having Mary Lai, David Moore, Nina Cogs, and Craig Gold. Please give them a big round of applause as they come onto the stage. Testing.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning. Yeah, well,
pretty chill in there, which is good.
Absolutely. Well, I want to first take this moment to thank NFT NYC for hosting this amazing event and this panel, and really appreciate all of you for being here bright and early. So kudos for you for joining the conversation. I'm Nina Cogs. I am so thrilled and excited to be here and be moderating this amazing panel. So today's conversation is on the bridge between traditional art and NFT art. I'm the founder and chief art legacy advisor of Smart Advisory. I've been cultivating artists' career and legacies in the art world for 20 years and Web3 since late 2018. I'm also an art historian, art educator, curator, and one of the mentors of the artist cohorts in the mentoring program with the Stack Foundation. Our panel is also excited to deep dive and offer a diverse perspective on the disconnect and the challenges in the adapting Web3 in the traditional art space and practices. In today's discussion, we're going to deconstruct some of the misconceptions about NFTs and ways to close the gap between the traditional and NFTs. It is my absolute honor and pleasure to introduce our distinguished panelists of artists and leaders in the creative industry and the art world. So David, please, let's start with you to kick us off. Tell us about yourself and in what ways you are bridging the gap between the traditional art and the NFTs.
Awesome, Trevor. Thank you. Yeah, I want to thank NFT NYC quickly just for bringing me onto this panel. We had a quick discussion last week on Zoom and it went into some really interesting places, so I'm super excited to be here. Yeah, I'm David Moore, one of 3 co-founders of the digital platform called KnownOrigin. We launched back in 2018 after a discussion about how I could basically showcase and sell digital pieces in the same way as traditional artwork. And then from there, we have built a community around the platform over the last 4.5 years. And the mission has always been to empower creators to earn a living from the thing that they love doing. And if we could build things and tools to make that happen, that was how we started really. We actually started with a physical event. I think some of the physical events, art events that I've been to whilst here have really shown how the space has moved a lot and evolved. We started really like DIY back in 2018. So it was a mix of physical artworks and digital screens and projectors. But I guess if people can find footage of it from back then, it probably would look quite different. But it was all about the concept of, can you sell digital pieces in the same way as physical art? And that's where we started. And then we quickly pivoted to just digital because we found that the idea of selling digital files as like a valuable asset really interesting. And the 2 tech founders, Andy and James, they're like some of the smartest blockchain engineers out there. So I'm creative by heart. I have 15 years in the creative industries. We worked with the 2 co-founders for many years before we got into crypto. I told them the story about how I wanted to create a pop-up gallery. Ultimately, I had no kind of almost right to do that. I'm not a gallerist, I'm not a have creative friends that I wanted to showcase their work because I collected it over the years. And I thought this is a great time to do it. Back in 2018, I got a space and I said, I'm going to put all this artwork in a space, come along and check it out. And at the time, there was a thing called CoinFest. I've done the thing where my intro is the talk, right? Sorry, that was just my intro. I'm getting more from KnownOrigin Digital Art Marketplace. Apologies.
Hi guys, my name is Mary Lau. Thank you all for coming so early in the morning to listen to this talk. I'm a visual artist. I've been in the creative industry for the past 20 years. I design fashion accessories and then transferred to creating art, fine arts, visual arts full time. I feel like right now is such an exciting time to be an artist because you have that option to not only sell physical artwork, but you can now sell digital artwork, and that wasn't the case before. So for me, I'm just excited to be an artist during this time. Thank you.
My name is Craig Gould, and I am the head of content and partnerships for Cambium. We are one of the oldest digital art frame brands, and so that company started roughly 5 years ago. We've been shipping US, Canada, continental Europe for going on 3 years, and a year and a half ago, I had our engineering team figure out how to go from our original vision for the company, which was providing the ultimate experience for viewing traditional historical fine art, and all of our patents were around that authentic viewing experience. How can we expand and answer the needs of the NFT market? So we were the first digital frame to offer the crypto wallet integration, and so in that role, we talked to a lot of marketplaces. I talked to different platforms, and I'm also the host of an art world podcast, and it's called Art Sense. And in that role, I weekly have conversations with museum curators, authors, artists, collectors, about all things related to the art world, traditional art world, crypto art world. It gives me a lot of access and insight into the art world from a lot of different levels. And so those are relationships and conversations that I have weekly, but also, being able to sit down and have conversations with gallerists at art fairs about pulse of what's going on.
Amazing, amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here. But I want to start with you, Kressh, because you just mentioned a couple points about, your work as intersecting between art and technology, and you also interviewed many curators and people in the art world. So what are the key observations that you've noticed, the common patterns that you would share with that?
Sure. I think, some of the key observations that I have is that, when we start talking about bridging the crypto art world and the traditional art world, in the traditional art world, there's a clear gatekeeper, and that's the gallerist, right? And the galleries are that gatekeeper, and they're the consultant for both the artist and the collector, right? And so they're at the center of the transaction, and for both of those parties, the traditional artists and the collectors, they are going to move when the gallerist tells them that it's time to move, right? And so, there was a survey recently done by Artsy that said, okay, amongst, they surveyed thousands of traditional art collectors. The traditional art collecting space is a $65 billion space. Of those that were surveyed, they found that no more than 5% of traditional art collectors have dabbled in NFTs. At a recent art fair, I was sharing a comment with a gallerist, and she was like, that's shocking, because I can't imagine that number being higher than 2%. And it started having a conversation about, well, what is the issue? Why are gallerists not, getting more, getting on board with traditional art entering the NFT space? Because they see the value, I can hear, they're like, we would love to have a strategy. However, I don't, my customers, the collectors, they're baby boomers, they're not tech savvy. I don't want to pull my customer to a keyhole I can't go to them and say, I need you to buy this particular cryptocurrency, I need you to open a wallet, because it's too much. They feel like it would strain their relationship with their customer. And so the other part, which, I see from our end, is the importance of display. People consume art for different reasons, and the traditional art collector isn't necessarily consuming for investment. So it's not so much a collectible, that's a tertiary benefit. For them, it's, I'm passionate about it, it moves the needle for me emotionally, and they want to be able to display it because, for centuries, you go all the way back to the Dutch masters, people want to be able to have something they can put on their wall and brag about, look at my shiny, lovely, collectible, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's always been a slow adoption in the art world.